And we welcome you to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for today's game. The Newton Rebels will be facing the Sunflower Seeds. They played yesterday, and Newton won 9-4 in their first meeting this year. This is the second game. This game was scheduled to be started at 7 o'clock in Cheney, but we have weather coming in around 6 o'clock, so they moved the game up to 3:30. And they decided to play in Newton, but Newton Rebels will be the visiting team. So leading off for the Newton Rebels, we have second baseman number 2, Jack Segres. Segres is a 5'11", 183-pounder. The ball hits the second baseman. Second baseman goes to first for the first out. One pitch and one out. Now batting for the Newton Rebels will be the shortstop number 1, Andrew Brotman. Brotman is up to bat with one out here in the top half of the first inning. Once again, you're watching Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer. We hope we're coming through. First pitch was a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes now to Brotman. Checked with the first base umpire, called it a strike, so the count goes to 1-1. Once again, if you're just now joining us, this game was scheduled for 7 o'clock. We're hoping that you tune in. That breaking ball there. Fouled off by Brotman. Ball hit to the third base, goes to first for out number 2. So we have 2 down. Brings up the first baseman number 21, Lincoln Andrews. Andrews, a left-handed batter. And here's the pitch by Sells. Colin Sells is the pitcher today for the Sunflower Seeds. 2-0 now the count to Lincoln Andrews. And here's Sells' pitch. That one fouled off there by Andrews. Andrews comes in batting 133. As he's been up to bat 15 times, has 2 hits, scored 2 runs. That's a swing and a miss by Andrews. He does have a total of 7 strikeouts here this season. That one missing low for ball 3, so we have a full count now, 3-2 to Lincoln Andrews. Right-handed batter. The Sunflower Seeds are white pants with black tops, white and black hats, and the Newton Rebels have gray pants with red tops this evening with white numbers. or I should say this afternoon. So the count stays at full at 3-2 now to Lincoln Andrews. And here's Colin Sells' pitch. That one missing low for ball 4, so Andrews will reach on a base on balls. And he'll bring up the designated hitter, number 23, Joey Martinez. Martinez hit in a home run last night. With 2 runners on base. Martinez batting .455 for the season. That one missing outside, a breaking ball. He has 5 hits at 11 at bat with 6 RBIs. And here's Sells' second pitch. Fastball at the knees, so that evens up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. That one missing outside, so the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. Lincoln Andrews is at first base. Reached on a base on balls, and Joey Martinez is up at the plate with 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. Once again, we are the visiting team today, even though we are playing at home in Newton, Kansas. That breaking ball missing high, so that would take the count now to 3 balls and 1 strike. And here's Sells' pitch. That was swing and a miss there by Joey Martinez. And that will take the count to full now at 3-2. Lincoln Andrews will be taken off on the pitch with 2 down as he stands at first base. As we are in the top half of the first inning. And there goes Andrews. Ball hit right back to the pitcher. Pitcher knocks it down. Looks like he may be able to make a play. He does for out number 3. So it is a 1-3 put out for the third out. Top half of the first inning for the Newton Rebels. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Defensively for the Rebels at first base will be Lincoln Andrews. Second baseman will be number 2, Jack Sigris. Shortstop number 1, Andrew Brotman. At third base, number 3, Lachlan Ross. Left fielder will be number 7, Caden Moore. Center fielder, number 13, Darius Gaston. Right fielder, we have number 6, Ethan White. Catching number 4, A.J. Parcero. And pitching for the Newton Rebels tonight, or this afternoon I should say, it will be number 27, Garrett McLean. Leading off bottom half the first inning for the Sunflower Seeds, we have center fielder number 33, Casey Mays. Mays comes in batting .250. He's been up the bat 16 times, has 4 hits, and scored 3 runs. So Garrett McLean out on the mound. Swing and a miss there by Mays. So that takes the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss there by Casey Mays, and Garrett McLean records his first strikeout of the ball game and the first out of this inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop number 3, Cooper Elliott. Elliott batting .250 as he has appeared in 4 games, has been up to bat 12 times, has 3 hits, and has scored 2 runs. That ball hit right back to the pitcher. McLean goes to first for out number 2. So 1-3 the put out. As now there's now 2 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. No score. We'll bring up the catcher number 15, Caleb Farmer. That ball is fouled off to the left-hand side. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Now to Caleb Farmer, the third hitter here in the bottom half of the first inning. Caleb Farmer reaches on a hit batsman. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, number 35, Derek Doty. Sorry about that. We're setting up another microphone here for General Manager Mark Carvalho. Once again, Caleb Farmer is your at first base. Doty is the batter with 2 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. Once again, I'm joined by General Manager Mark Carvalho now. How you doing, Mark?
Frank, it's good to see you. Good to see you today. I wasn't planning to be here, today at all, this early and everything, but change of events, that's what happens in Kansas.
Yeah, we got a phone call or a message about probably about 11:30, something like that the game was going to be changed to 3:30 instead of 7 o'clock, and had a hustle to get here, but we did. Got everything set up. We're only running 1 camera here tonight. Ball 4 there by Garrett McLean, so there's going to be runners now at first and second. McLean running into a little bit of problem here in the bottom half of the first inning, as he did get the first 2 batters out, struck out, and then ball hit right back to the pitcher. But then since then he has hit a batsman, and then he walked the next guy, Doty, on 4 pitches. Brings up the right fielder, number 24, Dylan Phillips. Well, I'm glad you joined us here, Mark. I want to talk a little bit about the season so far. We are 2-3. That one fouled off by Phillips. 2-3 so far for the season, and 1-3 in league play.
Well, I think we're still trying to figure out some things. I know Coach Clark and I have had some discussions about it, that you have to let guys get out there and they have to play. They have to. It's been a few months, and that's no excuse because other teams are doing the same.
That pitch in there for strike 2. 0-2 now the count to Dylan Phillips.
But I also think that we're a younger team, and we do have some talent. People, I think, it's just going to get better and better as we keep working on approaches and timing, and our pitch count gets better.
Well, once the players start gelling together, that's a big step in a team, in a good team, is see how they gel. And they seem to really get along well. So hopefully they'll start getting some W's under their belt. Of course, they did face the Hutchinson Monarchs for 4 games, or 3 games, I should say. One of them got rained out. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss there by Dylan Phillips, and Garrett McLean records his second strikeout of the ball game. So the bottom half of the first inning for the Sunflower Seeds, they scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 1, we have no score, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the top half of the second inning. There's Mr. Mark Carvala. Say hi to everybody, Mark.
Hey, how's everybody going? It's Happy Father's Day.
I was going to say, Happy Father's Day to you, Mark, and everybody out there in Rebels Nation. We want to wish a Happy Father's Day to every single one of you. Hope you're joining in. As we go to the top half of the second inning, no score so far. Once again, the Rebels are the visiting team here today, even though they're playing in Newton. Leading off for the Newton Rebels will be the third baseman, number 3, Lachlan Ross.
You know, Lachlan's really coming on. He has a nice, simple swing. And it's usually, like I said, talk about approach, I really like his approach. He usually does swing at strikes, and he lays off the balls. But he's been the leading hitter in the early part of this season.
Yeah, Lachlan comes in batting .500 as he's appeared in 3 games, has been up to bat 8 times, has 4 hits. There's a hard hit ball into left center field. That one's going to go deep. Center fielder making an attempt, makes a diving catch, attempt, but not able to come up with the catch. And Lachlan Ross will be in with a stand-up double. Nice effort there by the center fielder. That's Casey Mays, but was just not able to get to it. I thought there for a second he did, but I saw the ball finally drop. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 13, Darius Gaston. So we have a runner at second base with no outs here in the top half of the second inning. And it looks like the Rebels continue with the bats here.
Yeah, that's what they need to keep doing. That's one thing that Coach Clark's pretty proud of. He thinks that he put together an ensemble of really good hitters.
Well, going to most of the practices, that's one thing I really noticed was that the guys really stuck the ball well. They made great contact. So hopefully we keep that going and it improves. There's a hard swing there by Gaston, missing for strike 1. Count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike.
And this one thing that Coach Clark and I had a discussion the other day about hitters right here. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking for something maybe on the right side. Try to move the runner. Try to get him over to third.
Gaston attempts to bunt, and not sure if he pulled back or not. Looks like he checked with the base umpire, and he says no, he did pull it back. So the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike now to Darius Gaston, as we are in the top half of the second inning with no score. But the Rebels do have a runner on base at second base. There's Gaston's attempt for a bunt. That one was outside and was not able to pull back or lay it down. So that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the problem what he did right there, Frank, he was jabbing at it. He just stabbed at it, and you can't do that. You just got to, his job just get the ball down.
Yeah, especially when it's outside like that, you got to step a little bit towards it. There's a swing and a miss. That ball hit to the foul ball, it looks like. The pitcher, Colin Sells, let that ball go. I thought he was going to get it there at first, but then all of a sudden he decided he's going to let it go since saw Gaston go by him. Didn't think he's going to be able to get him, so he did the smart thing and let it go
Just
foul.
let it go. Just let it go, and it's smart play. A lot of times you see pitcher trying to, he's so into I have to make this play, and right there, because that was a good play by the pitcher.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Gaston. Once again, Ross at second base as he led off with a double. No outs here in the top half second. That pitch hitting the outside corner. A great pitch there by Colin Sells as he records his first strikeout for the game. And Gaston records the first out of this inning. Going to bring up the catcher, number 4, A.J. Parcero.
And one thing, Frank, I've always, my long tenure of coaching or whatever, I always brought up 80%. You have to execute 80% of the time. And that's one thing right now. I don't, Coach Clark saying maybe 50%.
There's a fastball on the outside corner to Parcero. Parcero comes in also batting .500 as he's appeared in 1 game, has been up to bat twice, and has 1 hit. Also has 1 strikeout. So Parcero up with 1 out and a runner at second base. See what we can do here. Ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop Cooper Elliott will go to first for out number 2. So a 6-3 put out for the second out. Runner does advance to third base on the play. And it'll bring up the right fielder, number 6, Ethan White.
And this is the thing that we always talk about. When you do make an out, a productive out, you move the runner. When you strike out or don't, whatever easy pop up, and you do not do that, then I think you hurt your team. You're trying to score runs, so you got to understand the game.
So Ethan White is up there. He's looking for his first base hit of the season. He's appeared in 2 games, has only been up to bat twice, and has no hits. So he's looking for that first hit, and this would be a great time, Carv.
It'd be a great time
with
right
a
now.
Runner at third base. There's a breaking ball in there for call strike 1. So that will even up the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike. Beautiful afternoon here in Newton, Kansas. Once again, we were scheduled to play at 7, and we were kind of planning on that, but things changed. There's a foul ball by Ethan White. So we'll take the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I'm amazed we have quite a bit of fans here for a short notice.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed, and I'm very happy with my volunteers that came out here and, had to change everything in their day to get out here early, and they're doing a great job.
That one fouled off by White, so he hangs in there. Count is still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And talking to the coaching staff, you have so many games. We have so many games that were condensed, and we're going to be finished up by July 31st. That he's looking for the hot hand in the hitting. That's the guys who are going to be consistent, and that's what we're looking for on the Rebels offense. Okay, he's got to be ready with 2 strikes at anything close. Put the ball in play. Make something happen.
So the count is 2-2. There's a breaking ball. That one popped up in the infield. Second baseman and the shortstop both backing up, and the shortstop Cooper Elliott will take the play for out number 3. So the top half of the second inning for the Newton Rebels, they start off with a double and leave them stranded. So they got no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 1.5 inning of play, we have no score, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. We have no score. Once again, Carv, this game was scheduled for 7 o'clock. We've got some people that have joined us and found out that the game was going to be played earlier. And my understanding is we do have it on YouTube.
Right.
It is broadcasting, so thanks to Jake Gibbs for letting us know. All right, we're in the bottom half of the second inning. Leading off will be the first baseman of 34, Cody Burdett, left-handed batter. And here's Garrett's pitch, fouled off by Burdett. So he goes up, no balls and 1 strike now.
And I think it's going to be important for McLean right here this inning because that first inning is always the toughest. I mean, pitchers, I don't care if it's major league or whatever, that first inning is usually the toughest. Let's see how he bounces back after those walk and hits batter last inning.
Garrett pitched the other day, and he did a good job. There, when missing high for ball 2, 2-1 now the count to Burdett.
I was going to say, Frank, McLean's still learning pitching. He's only been pitching for a year probably, and when I was talking to him the other day, and he's still learning, and he has a lot of upside.
3-1 now the count to Cody Burdett. As we are in the bottom half of the second inning, no score here between the Sunflower Seeds and your Newton Rebels. That's missing high, so Burdett will reach on a base on balls. We'll bring up the second baseman, number 6, Dawson Winter.
And one thing I've seen teams doing a lot, especially Hutch, when we were playing, they're very patient. They're not going to be taking wild swings like right there. He was very, right there. Burdett was patient, didn't have any wild swings, and he's on base with a walk.
So here's McLean's pitch, missing high for ball 1. Kind of falling behind on these pitchers, on the batters, correction. 1-0 now the count to Dawson Winter.
And that's the big problem. Get your pitch count up there pretty quick. And that's what the Coach Clark's doing right now. He's going off pitch count because he knows guys aren't in mid-season shape, like spring season shape. So, I mean, that's it's one of those things that you have to be efficient as a pitcher.
Winter comes in batting .250 because he's appeared in 2 games, been up the bat 4 times, and has 1 hit, and that one hits Winter on the left shoulder. So he'll take his base. That's the second hit batsman given up by McLean. So now we have runners at first and second, and that'll bring up the left fielder, number 7, Caleb Hitt. And looks like Parcero is going to go out and talk to McLean. Also, the pitching coach goes out and has a little chat with him. While he's doing that, let's give some thanks to some of our sponsors. We have Miller Insurance Agency, American Family Insurance, Doty Work, Conrad Insurance Group, Boston Insurance, Pouch Enterprise, Realty Connection Store and Stuff, Roofing Services Unlimited, Shamrock Car Wash, Sean Penner, Pate and Paul, Attorneys at Law, Affordable Autos, Remax Associates of Newton, Kansas, Tim Marler Family, and Carl Hodges. And don't forget Dr. Brett Rolfs, DDS. That pitch by Winter. Once again, this wouldn't be possible without all our sponsors, Carv.
Yeah, especially this season. It's been stressful. I'll put it that way as a general manager, just to keep everything together. And we didn't even know if we were going to play, Frank. I mean, until a month ago maybe. I mean, for sure. So it's been tough.
That one missing inside for ball 1. So the count will even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike to Caleb Hitt as the batter. A left-handed batter with the runners at first and second and no out here in the bottom half of the second inning. Garrett McLean trying to get out of a little trouble here. That one bunted down to first base side. McLean will go over to first base for the out. Second baseman Segris was covering.
It was great execution there. I mean, that's exactly what he wanted. Get the ball down in that thick grass. And guess what? You move the runners over Now you have 2 runners in scoring position.
Great sacrifice by Hit. So Burdett moves over to third base. Winter over to second. Brings up the third baseman, number 25, Dalton Tarrant. Tarrant batting .200 as he has appeared in 3 ball games. Has been up to bat 5 times, has 1 hit, and has scored 1 run.
And he's in a good situation too right here, Tarrant, because I mean he's the 9 hole, so you're getting your leadoff going to be up next. If he can get anything generated, if he puts a ball on the ground, especially if you look playing back, the infield's playing back, so they're giving up a run if he does put it on the ground.
So Garrett McLean with the pitch. That one fouled off by Tarrant, and the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and when Coach went out there, he probably asked him, said, what's feeling good, what pitch? And right now he's having trouble with location. But right now it seems like he's throwing mostly fastballs. So, I mean, obviously that's what he's concerned about. He's trying to get that established. There he is, throwing off speed. So.
Yeah, breaking ball, they're missing high for ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Dalton Tarrant. 4th batter here in the bottom half of the 2nd inning, as there is runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Ball, anything hit to the right side will probably score a run, unless it's hit to the first baseman, because first baseman Andrews is playing in at first.
Yeah, right now it's still early in the game where you don't have to have the infield in.
3-1 now the count. That one hit hard into left field. That may be gone. It is going to be foul. I can't see. I've got this wall right here.
It's about, I don't know, let's say about 5 feet.
Okay.
That was foul. One bounce went over the fence, but luckily it was foul.
Yeah, luckily it was foul. Like I say, I've got a wall right here where I can't see down the left field line. So all I saw was going towards left field. It was hit pretty hard. Breaking ball. That one lifted into center field. Gaston comes in, makes the catch, and here comes the throw.
Wow.
And nobody advances from third base on that play. Wow.
Yeah, I thought, he'd probably score from that, but I think the whole play was he was coming in. He was coming in hard, and I think that's what kind of threw everybody off, because it was a play in front of him, just hanging there, the fly ball.
Well, good job there by Gaston to get to that ball and throw the ball in quickly. That brings up the center fielder, number 33, Casey Mays. Mays struck out his first time. That one called strike 1 on the outside corner. So if Garrett McLean can get out of this inning without any runs coming across, that will be great.
It's nice.
Swing and a miss there by Mays.
So change up right there. Like I said, now he's getting things working right now. He just has to put it together consistently to keep his pitch count down.
So hopefully they got a little bit of defense here behind him. That one missing high for ball 1. 1-2 now the count to Casey Mays, center fielder for the Sunflower Seeds. It's funny how the Sunflower Seeds got their name. This was just a team put together when Andale dropped out, and got a bunch of guys together, and they had a little contest on the name. That one missing low for ball 2, and the Seeds just happened to win.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people get a kick out of that, Sunflower Seeds, whatever, but it's interesting.
Ball fouled off to the left-hand side.
Yep, it's out of play. I'm trying to help you out, Frank. I know you get that. We need to change the design here or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, with the camera having to be right behind home plate,
we can't be too far away.
Can't be too far away. So count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and I can't even see the scoreboard. That's how bad it is. I have to look around the wall. That one missing. No. That one gets away from the catcher. A.J. has no clue where it's at. 1 run will score from third base. Finally, McLean tells Parcero where the ball's at, and but 1 run scores. The runner advances to third base is Winter. And the count goes to full at 3-2. That's too bad, because that was A.J. stayed in front of it, but just happened to take a big bounce and got away to the right-hand side, and Burdett was able to score from third base. So 1-0 is the score. That one hit right back up to the shortstop, and that gets through Andrew Brotman's glove. So another run scores.
Yeah, those are plays. I mean, the catcher situation with the ball, that was a tough play, wild pitch right in front of him, and that was tough because but Broughton's got to make that play. He was trying to hurry and one-handed and all that, which you have to. You got to attack the ball, but you also have to know you got to keep that glove underneath the ball in this thick grass.
That one went right underneath his glove, so 2 runs have scored. Now there's a hard hit ball into center field. Gaston moving to his left makes the catch for out number 3. So at the bottom half of the second inning for the Sunflower Seeds, they scored 2 runs. And I'm going to have to check to see whether they call that an error or a hit, but
it's an error. I think they're going to call it an error.
I would call it an error too, but we'll see exactly what the scoreboard calls it, and or the official scores call it. And at the end of 2 innings of play, it is Sunflower Seeds 2 and the Newton Rebels 0, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, joined along by Mark Cavallo, General Manager. Caden Moore comes up to bat, swings at the first one. That's going to fall in for a base hit by Caden Moore.
Yeah, just went with the pitch. He's a left-handed hitter, outside pitch, just nice little easy swing. Kind of like your golf swing, Frank, just nice and easy. And, like you put it down the middle, every time. But
you've played with me a time or two, it looks like. Now coming up to bat for the Newton Rebels is second baseman number 2, Jack Sigris.
Now it'd be nice to get the top of the lineup going second time around. Let's make some adjustments. Let's see what happens.
Sigris batting .467. Coming into the ball game, has been up to bat 15 times. Has 7 hits, scored 3 runs, and 3 RBIs so far. He's got a good eye, too. He's been on base on balls 4 times. Moore at first base, starting off with a base hit here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Once again, the score 2-0 in favor of the Sunflower Seeds, as they scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. But the Newton Rebels have started off with a base hit here in the top half of the 3rd. We'll see if they can answer back. Sigris pitch missing for ball 3. So 3-0 now the count.
Getting back to, the walks, the hit batters, I used to have my pitching coaches in college. I used to have them look how many of the runs scored were off walks. How many, those freebies, and it's amazing, like 50% sometimes. And that's been our problem, I think.
Nice pitch there by Sells, goes in for strike 1. So the count goes to 3 balls, 1 strike now to Jack Sigris. Jack Sigris is a Wichita State product. A lot of Division I players in the league this year, Mark. That one fouled to the left-hand side. Third baseman comes up with it, goes to first for out number 1. Tarrant to Burdette for the out.
I liked how, as a third baseman, he came around the ball. He didn't try to backhand it. He came around it and
almost came in from the side, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, that's what you have to do. And with this grass we talk about, Frank, it definitely slows it up.
On that play, Caden Moore goes to second base. And the only reason I saw that because I looked around the wall here. First pitch to Andrew Brotman, now the batter. This called strike 1. Brotman grounded out to the third baseman in first time at at the plate in the top half of the first inning. Once again, kind of unusual situation as we're playing at home, but we are the visiting team today.
It's strange, isn't it, to be here like this?
That one fouled off to the right-hand side, actually back to the fence area. It looked like it was going to get out.
And the one thing as a coach right here, what I always try to specify, right, just make it a one-run game. We don't have to tie it up and get two. Let's just try to get this one. We got a runner in scoring position, and you got your 2-hole up. You got your 2 and 3. Let's get this guy in.
Just answer him back is all you got to do.
Yep.
You got a runner on scoring position as Moore is standing at second base. And here's Sells' pitch. That one missing outside for ball one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Andrew Brotman. Brotman batting .286 as he's appeared in 4 ball games. Has been up the plate 14 times, has 4 hits and scored 2 runs. But he does have 5 base on balls. So we'll see what he does here. His count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to him. He's going to have to battle. That one's fouled off there by Brotman.
And again, what I see, you got to remember these are college players, college pitchers, and they like to pitch away, even with the wood bats. And you can see constantly that's where they're pitching Brotman. They're pitching Enzo. They're pitching some of our big hitters away. And the only thing you can do is just go with it.
Yeah, that's what you got to learn how to do. Just step into it to drive it into right field if you have to. Here's Sells' pitch. Fastball fouled off by Brotman. I was really surprised by Brotman or amazed at his talent. You can just tell he's got that baseball knowledge, and he's got a lot of talent out shortstop. He was playing just in practice, was playing a little bit of outfield and stuff, and he's just very athletic.
Right. No, he can probably play any position out there.
And he swings the bat really well. I noticed in practice he hit the ball, was driving the ball really well. And Sells steps off. Caden Moore hustles back to second base.
No, he's been proven to be a very talented player. From Arkansas City, went to Neosho County and hit .350 there, and then he was hitting .470 at University of New Orleans. So he knows what he has to do.
That one fought off there by Brotman. Good job of keeping his hands back on that one. Was able to get a piece of it.
He's got great hand-eye coordination. Like I said, right there, he was off balance, but he just fouled it off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's a golfer or not, but with that hand-eye coordination like that, he would make a good golfer. So the count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Andrew Brotman. And here's Sells' pitch. Fastball, that one fouled off by Brotman again. Great job of hanging in there by Andrew.
And you can see away, Frank. I mean, that's what they're doing, and he's fouling them off over the first base dugout.
We got a pretty good crowd here. We have some fans that decided they didn't want to pay, so they're outside the fence looking.
Right. Huh.
Getting a freebie.
Well, it's good that we're just getting them out here.
That's exactly right.
You and I, Frank, we've been trying to get fans out here for the last few years, and it looks like they're showing up.
That one missing. And then there goes Caden Moore to third base as that one gets away from the catcher, Caleb Farmer. The count will go down to 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now Caden Moore is 90 feet away from making it 2-1 here as we are in the top half of the third inning.
And if you look at the defense, you see how they're playing back. So if Brotman even hits a little ground ball, we score a run.
Yeah, it's very important that he hustled over. Great heads up. Their ball fouled off once again. Another outside pitch by Cullen Sells.
It's definitely a good at-bat. I mean, he pitches right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, point streak is not on, so we can't give you that information. Boy, I tell you what, when point streak is not running, it really, for a play-by-play announcer, that really handcuffs a little bit.
I wonder how we did it before.
Exactly right. All them guys that used to do it by pencil, I have a lot of admire them quite a bit.
Actually, I I kind of go back that way far, Frank.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and here's the pitch. That one swing and a miss there by Brotman, and catcher Farmer was able to hang on to it. So we have 2 out now in the top half of the 3rd inning. That will bring up the first baseman, number 21, Lincoln Andrews, for the Newton Rebels, as Caden Moore is standing at 3rd base with 2 down.
Well, right now, I mean, what I've seen this early part of the season, first few games, is the Rebels haven't capitalized on many, right here. Hopefully, right here that Andrews can answer right here to get this run in.
Yeah, we've had many situations where we had runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out or 2 outs and have not been able to get them across. That's been kind of hurting us. And not only that, but the middle relief pitchers, the first 2 games really hurt us. That ball hit to the right-hand side. First baseman moves to his right and tosses to Sells for the 3rd out. So once again, not able to score the run as he gets stranded at 3rd base. Top half of the 3rd inning for the Newton Rebels. They score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 2.5 innings of play, it is the Sunflower Seeds 2 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The score 2-0 in favor of the Sunflower Seeds, as they scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. The Newton Rebels have had runners on base all 3 innings. Left a guy stranded at first base in the 1st, and a guy left stranded at 3rd base in the 2nd, and the same thing in the 3rd inning. Man left stranded at 3rd base.
Yeah, I think right now Coach Clark has to look at McLean's pitch count. It's getting up there. And he also has to look at it. You want to keep the score 2-0. We've been getting runners on. We just haven't had the big hit. And we can do that. We did that yesterday with Martinez. He had the big hit and we were down. So hopefully we can stay close, and that's what we're hoping.
Now leading off bottom half 3rd inning for the Sunflower Seeds, catcher number 15, Caleb Farmer. Speaking of Martinez, I did want to speak about him. He did a great job yesterday. Yeah. He gave up, I believe it was either a base on balls and then a home run, but then he settled down and went 1, 2, 3 in the 2nd inning and only faced 4 batters. There's McLean's 3rd hit batsman today. And then Martinez only faced 4 batters in the 3rd inning. He really settled down and did a great job. That's Luke Martinez that we're speaking of.
Yeah. I mean, and he did a great. I mean, like I said, it's the first time a lot of these guys have been on a mound, and our mound right here, and in front of the crowd, home crowd, and like I say, Frank, they'll get a lot better. I don't know. We do not know what they did over the break, and I know a lot of guys said, yeah, I played catch, I did this, and some told me they didn't do much, Yeah. So.
Well, Farmer's on for the 2nd time. That's the 2nd time he's been hit by a pitch. So he's standing at first base, brings up the designated hitter, number 35, Derek Doty.
And I think you're playing with fire if you're getting that leadoff guy on all the time, because the percentages are they will score.
There's a fastball missing. Gets away from A.J. Parcero, and Farmer now moves over to 2nd base as the ball got away.
It's all about percentages. So now you have the runner on 2nd, no out. So it's a higher percentage. You get a runner on 3rd, no outs. It's 75% the times they score.
Ball popped up in the infield. Looks like A.J. Parcero gets under it. Will make the catch for out number 1. So good pitch there by Garrett McLean. to
like-
get Doty to pop out.
So Garrett wanted that, that pop up, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
You know, and he's actually an athlete. He plays. You know, he can hit. He does. He's played infield. He can get that. But and that's good. Just get. I always just say, just get an out. I don't care who gets it. Get the out.
Going to bring up the right fielder, number 24, Dylan Phillips. Phillips struck out his first time at the plate. Runner at second base as we are in the bottom half of the third inning. 2-0 is the score in favor of the Sunflower Seeds over your Newton Rebels. But the game is young yet.
Yes.
And I have noticed the clouds are starting to move in. That one fouled off there by Phillips. Once again, this game was scheduled for 7, and then they kind of look at the radar. The radar showed that the thunderstorms were coming in around 6 o'clock, so they decided to move the game up to 3:30. And just looking to the north of us, it's getting pretty dark there, and the clouds are coming in. So we're hoping to get this game in as we are in the bottom half of the third inning now.
Well, if it's like last night's game, we won't get it in because it was a long game last night, Frank.
Yep. There's McLean's pitch. Ball is fouled off back to the fence area. And the count stays at no balls and 2 strikes.
That inning yesterday, that first inning was 35 minutes.
Wow.
So that's a long time for one inning.
Phillips came into the game batting .273. Appeared in 3 ball games. Has been up the plate 11 times. And has 3 hits, scored 1 run. That one swung and a miss there by Phillips as he goes down swinging. Nice pitch there by Garrett McLean to record the second out of the inning. And that is McLean's recorded 3rd strikeout of the ball game.
And it's like changeup. I mean, his changeup is really good. I mean, when he has that working it down, I mean, it's just breaking down. The hitters don't have a chance to get that.
Brings up the first baseman, number 34, Cody Burdett. Burdett walked in the second inning to start off the inning, and he also scored a run. Check swing there by Burdett.
And McLean right here, because I'm not sure if he's going to go another inning. If he gets out of this, that'd be good to finish up with, a goose egg right there. Get a big O0 up there.
Yeah, I have not seen anybody warming up, so I'm sure that they've got a number for him that they're shooting at. Fastball missing high for ball 2. 2-0 now the count. To first baseman, Cody Burdett for the Sunflower Seeds. And here's Garrett's pitch. That one lifted into left field, or correction, right field. Falls in for a base hit. Runner coming around third base. Going to score. So Burdett records a base hit and an RBI.
Well, it wasn't a bad pitch. I mean, it was down. He had to go down and get it, and he just dug it up and right over Seagrass' glove right there. That's a tough play. But, I mean, it's a good hit by him just to go after it, and that's tough on McLean right there because I thought he was going to get out of this.
It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 6, Dawson Winter, to score now 3-0 in favor of the Sunflower Seeds with a runner at first base. That one hit right back to the pitcher. Should be handled. Goes to first for out number 3. So a 1-3 put out for the third out, but not before the Sunflower Seeds score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 3 innings of play, it is Sunflower Seeds 3 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the top half of the fourth inning. The score is 3-0 in favor of the Sunflower Seeds. And leading off for the Newton Rebels will be the designated hitter, number 23, Joey Martinez. Will be coming up. We need to get things going here.
Yeah. And Martinez, he's had the hot hand like we were talking about. Coach Clark's looking for some consistent, hitters that can hit the ball hard every time. He's been doing it.
Martinez came in the ball game batting .455.
You definitely need to keep his bat in the lineup right now.
Today's designated hitter. First pitch was a ball. Here's the second pitch. Swing and a miss there by Martinez as the count now goes to 1 strike. The Sunflower Seeds are looking for their first victory of the season as they are 0-4. Newton Rebels are 1-3 in league play and 2-3 overall. There's a breaking ball in there for strike 2. So the count is 1 2 strikes now to Joey Martinez.
And sometimes I've been seeing, as working with hitters a lot of guessing. A lot of hitters are guessing.
Mm-hmm. Fastball just missing low for ball 2. 2-2 now the count.
And I always try to teach approach. I mean, you got to look, especially fastball, 0-0 count, look for that fastball. Don't be swinging it off speed or a bad pitch.
And here's Sells' pitch. A breaking ball, swing and a miss there by Martinez as he goes down swinging for out number 1.
Sells had some good movement on that, some good downward movement. He's using his changeup also, and he's keeping our hitters off balance.
Yeah, that's Sells' third recorded strikeout in the ball game. Brings up the third baseman, number 3, Lachlan Ross. Fastball in there for strike 1. So Colin Sells gets up on Ross. Another fastball missing high, so the count will even up now at 1 strike.
And the thing is, Frank, all these kids come from different colleges.
There's a breaking ball in there for strike 2.
And they have different philosophies. You have different hitting coaches. You have, like I was talking about the approach that I always had. I always had that box it up.
Fastball missing high for ball 2, so 2-2 now the count. I don't know if you've noticed, Colin Sells now is getting himself into a little rhythm there.
Yep.
He's kind of speeding things up just a little bit. I noticed he's getting ready awful quick. That breaking ball missing outside. So that will take the count now to full at 3-2. 1 down here in the top half of the fourth inning. 3-0 is the score in favor of the Sunflower Seeds over the Newton Rebels.
And he has 3 of his pitches working right now, too.
Breaking ball, that lifted over the first base dugout into foul territory. So nice job there by Lachlan Ross to fight that one off. Still full now at 3-2. And here's Sells' pitch. Now that one into the ground, so Lachlan Ross will be at first base on a base on balls. That's his second time on the base pass as he started off the second inning with a double, but was left stranded at third base. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 13, Darius Gaston. Gaston coming up, struck out his first time at the plate. So now we have Ross at first base with 1 down here in the top half of the fourth inning.
It's kind of amazing how many games we've had where we're out hitting the team, but they've got more runs. Like it's 3-0, and right now we're out hitting 2-1.
Fastball hit in the outside corner. For strike 1. I looked up there and I saw 2-1, and I said, "What are you talking about? That's the visiting team." But I forgot we're the visiting team.
He was off.
He's off the plate. That should be a base hit there by Gaston. Nobody was. He was not standing on first base when he caught that.
Yeah. No, I think that was a pretty easy call because the first baseman came and got the ball, which was a little to his right. The catcher's left, and it took him off the bag. The first baseman trying to sell. I was on the bag.
Yeah. But he wasn't, though. He was well off that bag.
And that's where the home plate umpire needs to say something and say safe.
He does say safe. Runner now at first and second. That's a base hit there by Darius Gaston.
Coach Douglas, he has something to say about that too, but he's not going to get that changed.
No, I wouldn't think so. I would see Brett Clark really come and
Yeah.
argue that one because I mean
And-
he looked like he was 2-3 feet off the bag. Didn't he look like he was
Yeah,
close?
no,
to
he
me?
was off. He was off.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we have
and this is, you know,
the first baseman saying he tagged him, but I don't think so.
I did.
I don't even remember.
I mean, he was off. He was he was
Yeah.
in the grass.
Yeah, he was well off there. So we have runner at first and second. It looks like the umpires are going to talk about it once again.
And maybe that's something we'll get someday, Frank, the instant replay camera.
Yeah.
How about that?
That
you
would
know,
be great if we
we'll work
could.
on that, you know. One thing at a time, I'd
Well,
say.
one thing about it is when on YouTube, they're posted on there where you can go back and watch the game
Right,
anytime you'd like to. But I don't see how they can turn this over
No.
because, like I say, the first baseman was just not.
Whoa.
What are they doing now?
Now what? This is where I'd probably be
Okay,
pretty
the
upset
two
here.
umpires kind of talked it out. Now they're telling the guy at second base to go back to first, and they're saying Gaston needs to go back to the plate. But I don't.
What? Do over or
I-
what? What is this? I mean, that's crazy.
That was a fair ball.
Yeah. No, it was. The first baseman clearly came off the bag.
Oh, he was nowhere near the bag.
Well, we could ask our other set of eyes. Rocco, what'd you see, Rocco? Yeah.
That was definitely a base hit. So I don't know what they're. But the two umpires got together and discussed something, and if they said they didn't see it.
That's.
Wow. Because Gaston definitely had a
Well,
base hit there.
And I understand the field umpire might have had a tough angle, but
Yes.
the home plate has that right there. I mean, it's right there
Yeah,
in front of
you're
him.
right in
and
front
and
of
he,
him.
his first, what was his first instinct? Safe. Because that's what he saw the same thing you and I did, Frank. And,
Yeah.
And Rocco, he saw the same thing. So,
So I don't know what the count's going to be because
wow. I don't know.
I don't think the umpire knows what the count's going to be because he's kind of questioning it.
I might have to talk to him after the game, in a pleasant manner.
They're saying one ball and 2 strikes. Okay. Wow, I've never
Yeah.
seen that before. But that,
No.
I mean, unless they call time foul ball, but the home plate umpire should have stuck his arms up or something.
No, he said
But-
safe.
He said safe.
They discussed it.
I don't know. There's a swing and a miss there by Gaston. He goes down swinging.
And that makes a difference right there.
It makes a big difference because now there's 2 down. And that is the 4th strikeout recorded by Sells. Brings up the catcher number 4, A.J. Parcero. We've had a couple of plays like that this year where went against the Newton Rebels. Remember that fly ball into center field with runners at first and second?
At X Stadium, yes.
And 1 out, and somehow we got a double play out of it. No outs, actually. There was no outs, and somehow they got a double play out of it.
Yeah.
But
Well, like I said, we have to be better than everybody, the umpires and everybody else. The way I always told my team, and but right there, I mean, that was, to me, it was a no-brainer kind of play.
that first one was fouled off by Parcero. That one high, but swinging is Parcero, so the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Sells is looking really good right now. I mean, like I said, he's got 3 of his pitches working, and it's going to be tough. I mean, I don't know what his pitch count's going to be, but we need to stay close.
Well, that change of the umpire's call definitely makes a big difference because otherwise we'd have had runners at first and second with 1 out. Now we have 2 down with the runner at first base.
Wow.
And I use a pin, so I don't have any white out, so
Well,
I still show Ross at second base. Here's the pitch by Sells. That one hit into shortstop. Shortstop will go over to second for the force out. And At the end of 3.5 innings of play, as the top half of the fourth inning for the Rebels, they scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. So we have fielder's choice here and a 6-4 putout for the third out. At the end of 3.5, it is the Sunflower Seeds 3 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. Frank Martinez joined along by Mark Carvala, our general manager. Looks like we're going to have a new pitcher in for the Newton Rebels. New pitcher for Newton will be number 20, Chandler Hinkleman. Hinkleman now coming in to pitch, right-handed thrower for the Newton Rebels. Leading off bottom half of the fourth inning for the Sunflower Seeds
Yeah, Frank
will be left fielder number 7, Caleb Hitt.
No, excuse me, Frank. But I was going to say, it looks like we will be having a little race with weather coming right now.
Yeah, looks like it's coming in from the northwest, doesn't it?
Right. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Well, that's why this game was moved up to 3:30 instead of 7 o'clock. Breaking ball there by Hinkleman. Nice job. Is in there for strike 2. So 0-2 now the count. Once again, the batter, number 7, Caleb Hitt, who laid down a sacrifice as there was runners at first and second and moved him over to second and third. Swinging for strike 3.
You know, I've been very impressed with Hinkleman, and you look at it, he's a two. I mean, he can hit also. He can play two sports. Whatever two positions. But the thing is about him is that he's accepting the pitching role. I talked to him yesterday. I said, "You're pretty impressive," because he had what's his 12th strikeout, I believe, this year, and he says, "Well, I'm really getting into pitching now."
Hard hit ball by number 25, Tarrant. Tarrant rounds it and going for second base. Here comes the throw to second. Got cut off by the shortstop. Boy, they need to talk to each other out there.
Yeah.
Because I thought he had a pretty good chance of getting him. Well, Tarrant is in with a double.
And that's good hustle, especially on this field. I mean, because this field slows the ball down. Like on turf, you're playing, that ball keeps going. But that was great hustle. I mean, that was great hustle by Tarrant.
So Tarrant now standing at second base with one down as we are in the bottom half of the fourth inning. 3-0 the score in favor of the Sunflower Seeds. Here's Hinkleman's pitch. Swing and a miss there by number 33, Casey Mays, center fielder for the Seeds. He reached on a error in the second inning and was left stranded at second base. Swing and a miss there once again by Mays, and went down swinging strikeout in the first inning. So here he is up in the fourth, bottom half of the fourth.
He's got some good movement. I mean, we're seeing some good movement from these pitchers.
Chandler from Valley Center, Kansas.
Goes to Tabor College.
Tabor College,
Yeah.
correct.
Like I said, he's still young. I mean, he's a young guy, so you know it's going to be interesting to see what he has going in the next 2 or 3 years.
Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one hit to left field, falls in for a base hit. That may score a run. Here comes the plate. The ball was cut off again by the third baseman, deflected, and so another run will score as Tarrant comes in to score from second base. Mays will be on at first base with second base on the throw.
And that was all done because of Terrence hustle double right there and scored the run. And it's, they're not little base hits. They're nothing great. I mean, nothing, to the wall or anything like that, but generated a run.
Scores that now makes it 4-0 in favor of the Seeds. And Cooper Elliott is the batter. This is his third time up at the plate. A check swing. Not sure if he made contact or not. Runner advances to third base. So apparently he didn't.
What?
So count is no balls, 1 strike now to Cooper Elliott as he grounded out to the first baseman in the first inning and flew out to center field in the second. That one popped up in the infield. Third baseman, shortstop looks like backing up. Not going to be able to make the play. Falls in for a base hit. As Brotman was backing up, left fielder was not able to get to it. So another run scores, and Cooper Elliott is standing at second base with a double and an RBI.
That's another play that should have been made right there. I always feel like your left fielder with that ball hanging up there that long should be able to get under it, and he takes control. He has. He can call off the shortstop, third baseman, and be aggressive. But you assume what the shortstop's going to get, and that's probably what he did. And guess what? Double RBI.
Well, definitely he had a better angle at it than.
Well, you're running forward,
right?
So I mean,
there goes Cooper Elliott to third base on a steal, on the pitch, as the ball was into the ground. Now batting is number 15, Caleb Farmer, the catcher. He has been hit by the pitch twice now here in the ball game.
Nick Mendes needs to stay within himself right here. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to overthrow.
5-0 in favor of the Seed. There's a breaking ball. Nice job there by A.J. Parcero as he blocks that one. Stays in front of it. Count is 2 balls, no strike now to Caleb Farmer. Comes in batting .273 for the season. That ball hit hard by Farmer, but it's going to be fouled on the third base side. That will take the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Once again, Cooper Elliott standing at third base, and there's only 1 down here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 5-0 is the score. Breaking ball, that one popped up into the infield. Finally, A.J. Parcero, and he drops the ball. So he's going to go, looks like he's going to get Cooper Elliott hung up at third base, makes the play at third base for the out.
Wow.
So we have
Yeah, that was, the catcher drops the ball.
Well, looked like he never really saw the ball, and then Henkelman kind of looked at him, said, hey, he's right there, right underneath, you're right underneath it, and he finally was able to get underneath it, but was not able to make the catch. So Farmer would be on at first base. And then they ended up getting Cooper Elliott hung up between third and home, and were able to tag him out.
I mean, you rather get
second out.
You rather get the guy at third base, no doubt. But I mean, we have to play a cleaner game.
Oh, yeah.
It hasn't been clean.
That's two errors there should be. Well, 3 errors actually now recorded.
And that's what you want from your defense, a clean game, a clean all around. And right now, the Rebels are struggling.
Well, you remember last year we had like 7 games where we had 4 errors
right.
or better. That's something that I thought really would be cleaned up this year, and it has been. But it's just I just remember that I can't believe that we played that many games with that many. We're averaging 4 errors a game.
Well, at this
and
level,
only lost by 1.
Yeah, you're right.
And only lost by 1.
We had that streak and the losing streak, 8 games in a row, and
There's a ball hit to the right-hand side, going to be out of play.
You're right, Frank. But these are college guys, and I realize if you could still have been taking ground balls. If you come here, go out here and take some extra ground balls. Get up early, whatever, take some. Go ahead, do some extra work. But like some pop flies, I mean, get somebody to hit your pop flies or whatever. Work on some of your weaknesses.
Count as 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a ball fouled off to the left-hand side. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, as a sports announcer, I usually call ball games for the high school and wasn't able to call any because the schools all closed down. But there was a couple times I got in front of the TV and played the World Series and just sat there and announced with the volume off just to keep myself in shape, you know, with it.
Right.
To keep my mind thinking about what I needed to say and what I needed to do. And but of course, I'm not a play-by-play announcer. I'm more of a PA announcer.
No,
so.
you're. Hey, you know, you just.
There's a hard hit ball to the left field side.
I think you're doing a great job, Frank. We appreciate you being here doing this. And, I mean, this when you and I talked about it, and I said I want you to focus on it this year. I love your PA stuff, Frank. I know, okay, but I'm just saying I like you. I like what you're doing here, and this is part of the program that I want to get out to the fans out there, and I think they enjoy it.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Doty, as we have a runner on at first base with 2 down now. But 2 runs have scored here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. That one fouled to the third base side. Third baseman able to get to it, goes to first for out number 3. And now the coach is arguing that his foot was off, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
So it's a 5-3 put out for the third out, but not before the Seeds scored 2 runs. And looks like they had three hits on 1 error and 1 left on base. At the end of 4 innings of play, it is Sunflower Seeds 5 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. And the score is 5-0 in favor of the Sunflower Seeds. They scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning, 1 run in the 3rd, and 2 runs in the bottom half of the 4th. The Newton Rebels have had runners on base all 4 innings, but have not been able to score anybody yet.
Guess Sells, we're going to see how long he can go. I mean, he's got, he's keeping it efficient. I mean, really, giving up only 3 hits. So, but I like what he's doing, and I just hope that right now the Rebels, they're seeing him for the 3rd time around, and we'll see what happens.
Well, they definitely got himself in a little rhythm going right now, so they'll probably keep him out there as long as they can for until he gets to that pitch count. Ethan White will be the batter for the Newton Rebels here in the top half of the 5th inning. A swing and fouled off there by Ethan White.
Yeah, I'd like to see Ethan get going here. I know you were saying that he's looking for his first hit of the year, and this definitely be a great time for it.
That one fouled to the right-hand side. First baseman hustling for it, not going to be able to get to it. So the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
You can see the first baseman and the catcher looking back and forth at each other, and then finally just, again, first baseman, you bust your rear, go after it, go hard after it, and you probably would have had that. But it's a break for us because, we still have White coming up with 2 strikes. Get something started.
Yeah, first baseman Burdett looking at Farmer, the catcher, and they just kind of looked at each other, and finally Burdett, the first baseman, decided I better go after it, but that was too late. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch by Sells. That one fouled off to the left-hand side. And Mark, you said that you just got through looking at the radar, and it looks like the weather's getting closer, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's outside of Hutch and above, and
Hutch is about 45 miles away or so.
Right.
Or I'm not sure how it is from Newton.
it's-
From Wichita, it's 45 miles. Oh, call strike 3 there by home plate umpire. So out number 1 as Sells.
Okay, and right now it's just
Records his 5th strikeout.
Newton's just got to figure out, just get runners on and get things happening, just like they did last night. And there's no reason why they can't do it. I mean, it's again, Sells are seeing him now. They'll be seeing him for the 3rd time. So the more, I always said, that's your advantage now.
Sells pitch is called strike 1. Up the bat now is left fielder number 7, Caden Moore. Reached on a base hit in the 3rd inning. Here's the that bat goes flying from Moore's hands. So the count goes to no balls, 2 strikes, and the bat gets retrieved back to him.
It's going to be interesting to see. I'm looking at the left fielder because Moore, if they pitch away, he just likes to just takes that little swing and go out that way. But they're playing fairly even.
I like Caden Moore. Did you see what he just did? He did what we used to do, and that was when you lose track of the bat, you go down and grab some dirt and rub it on your hands, and we're now ready to play ball. That one low for ball 1, so the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Or we used to put a little saliva in our hands and rub it. Nowadays they have the sticky stuff.
Pine tar,
the whole works. That one missing high. The count goes down to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and right now Newton just needs to be patient. Get some, because like I said, Sells. I mean, he's doing a good job just keeping that ball. He's around the zone, and we know that.
Well, like you said, he's really in control of his pitches right now, and he's got a good tempo going and pitching a good game here so far for the Sunflower Seeds. Count goes full now, 3-2 to Caden Moore. That one hits to the third base side. Third baseman Tarrant comes up with it, goes to first for out number 2. So a 5-3 put out for the 2nd out.
And what Tarrant did right there, he attacked the ball. He came after it instead of waiting back, because a lot of times people, especially third base, sometimes you wait back, and that's when it eats you up. He came right after it and smuggled that hop and made a nice, accurate throw.
Brings up the for the Rebels, the second baseman, number 2, Jack Sigris. There's the pitch. First one, that one gets away from catcher Farmer.
And then, like I said, we're at the top of the lineup, so it's 3rd time around, from now on that our guys will see him, and it's going to be interesting to see how we approach this.
Ball hit to the right-hand side. Second baseman goes to first for out number 3, so a 4-3 put out for the 3rd out. It's going to bring up the at the top half of the 5th inning for the Newton Rebels. They score no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 4.5 innings of play, it is the Sunflower Seeds 5 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. Looks like we're going to have some more changes. Looks like coming in to pitch now is number 19 for Newton. And number 19 for the Rebels is Carson Frazier. Carson Frazier now coming in to pitch. Carson Frazier's a 6 foot, 155 pounder from Cypress Community College, where he's a freshman. From, I think it's Temecula, California.
Temecula.
Temecula?
See right there, a California guy, he'll tell you.
Temecula? It is Temecula, my bad. I was trying to put the Spanish accent on it.
There you go.
So, Carson Frazier now the pitcher. First batter that he'll be facing is number 24, Dylan Phillips. You can tell I've only been to California one time.
Well, it might be called that somewhere else, though, Frank. So,
It may be.
So.
That one popped up to center fielder. Center fielder, now Gaston's not in center field now. They put somebody else out there. We'll have to find out who that is. It looks like it's Moore,
Yeah,
number
looks like,
7.
Yep, it's Moore.
Moore has been moved to center field now. So we got one out.
And it's very important right now that the Rebels get a 0 right here. You know, do not let them score. If you look at the last 3 innings, it's 2 runs, 1 run, 2 runs. So I think it's very important right now to whatever happens, we just get a 0, and we could stay in this game. I mean, 5 runs, we can come back from that, but we just have to slowly.
Going to bring up the first baseman, number 34, Cody Burdett. Count is no balls, 1 strike to Burdett. As Carson Frazier now the pitcher. That one, it did hit him. I thought it would have. So he reaches on base on hit batsman. And we'll bring up number 6, second baseman, number 6, Dawson Winter. So, okay, we got center field now is Caden Moore. We'll have to find out who's out in left field then, because Caden was playing left. That pitch by Frazier missing outside. As Dawson Winter is up to the plate in the bottom half of the 5th inning, 5-0 in favor of the Seeds over the Rebels. Fastball by Frazier. Count will even up now at 1 ball, 1 strike. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there called strike 2. Nice pitch there by
that was nice.
Carson Frazier. Had the same motion as his fastball, and it was really fooled Winter.
Fooled us. I thought the same thing too, Frank.
There's a fastball missing for strike 3 for the second out of the inning. So Carson Frazier records his first strikeout here in the 5th inning.
You also have a change at catcher.
Yeah, it looks like we have a lot of changes. Hibiki Uchi is now catching. So now batting will be the left fielder, number 7, Caleb Hitt. Oh, and that hits the batter. Hitt will go to first base as a hit batsman. That's the second one this inning. So now there'll be runners at first and second. With 2 down, we'll bring up the third baseman, number 25, Dalton Tarrant.
Again, they have a runner in scoring position. It's very crucial right now. We do not let them score anymore.
So catching, trying to get my...
It's all right. It's made some changes. Coach wants to look at some other guys also.
All right.
Yeah, Frazier just needs to settle down right now, and this, it's like sometimes they try to overthrow or whatever. Just get one more out.
That one missing outside, so the count goes 2-0 now to Tarrant.
You can see how he's coming across his body like that, and like I said, he has some good stuff. Believe in his stuff. Just let him. Hey, I'm gonna let you hit it, and let your movement take it.
We got some defense out there.
Yep.
That one, he way overthrew that one. You could tell that.
Yeah.
So runners will advance down to second and third. Wono to third base is Burdett. Hitt will go over to second base on that wild throw. And the count is 3 balls and no strikes. We do have somebody warming out in bullpen. Still trying to find out who's out in left field. And here's Frazier's pitch, and that one also gets away. Another run will score. 6-0 now in favor of the Sunflower Seeds. Hit will move over to third base. Another wild pitch.
No, it's been tough, especially with 2 outs. I figure with 2 outs, we're going to get these guys out. I keep feeling, all right, well, and then something happens, and it's just one of those things we need to overcome.
And that was ball 4, by the way. So Tarrant is over at first base, now batting the center fielder, number 33, Casey Mays. Tarrant taking a pretty good lead over at first base. There's
There you
call
go.
strike 1. No balls, 1 strike now to Mays, as we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Frazier's got some really good stuff. I mean, he really does.
But the score is 6-0 here for the Seeds, as they've scored 1 run on 2 hit batsmen and 2 wild pitches. A swing and a miss there by Mays, and he goes down swinging for out number 3. So bottom half of the 5th inning for the Sunflower Seeds, they score 1 run on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. So at the end of 5 innings of play, it is Sunflower Seeds 6 and the Newton Rebels 0. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, joined along by General Manager Mark Kavala, as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. And we have a new pitcher now for the Sunflower Seeds. Coming in to pitch is number 9, Jacob Woodburn. And I have no details on Mr. Woodburn. I apologize.
Well, Frank, I think, you need to tip your hat to Colin Sells. I mean, he did a great job, keeping the Rebel hitters off balance. And he started, like you were talking about, his first inning was a little rough and everything, and he just, found it 3 pitches that he could control, and we had some opportunities there, but he did a good job for the Seeds. And we're still, like I said, now we can find out about the bullpen. And we just got to get our hitters going one at a time, try to get this in half. If we can get this down to a 6-3 game, we still have innings left.
Well, Sells went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits and no runs, so he did pretty good. And here's the first batter he'll be facing. We've got a new batter here besides Brotman. What number is this here? Looks like it's number 5 now batting.
Etchelman, yeah.
So it'll be Aaron Eshelman is the batter. We're going to have a lot of changes, I'm sure. I'll try to keep up with them here.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, Coach Clark's situation, it's early in the season, and he wants to, go out there and find out, who can do some things and get some opportunities.
So Eshelman is the batter, and Woodburn, the pitcher. as the count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. That ball hits to the right-hand side. First baseman gets it, makes the play for out number 2. So it's unassisted at first base for the first out. Now batting will be the first baseman, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. And we welcome Chad Fry, our play-by-play announcer for the home games, but he had a little father duty to do this today. Chad, we're down 6-0 as we are in the top half of the 6th inning. You want to take over a little bit?
Yeah, for a little. I'm out test riding a bicycle that I've been trying to get repaired today, and it's been interesting. He'll ground one towards second. 4-3 will be how you score that on your score sheets at home, and there's now 2 away for the Rebels here in the 6th. Joey Martinez coming to the plate. Frank, I see a big 3 on that scoreboard in a spot I don't like to see it. What in the world?
Exactly right. The 3 errors that the Rebels have put up on the board today, that's kind of unusual for this team, but that's just what happens. And unfortunately, those were with runners on base.
That'll always lead to runs, almost always anyway. First pitch will be behind Martinez's head, and it'll be ball 1, 1-0 your count now. And he'll foul one back to the screen. I don't care who you are, how good you think you are. You give somebody 3 extra outs, you're asking for trouble, and we're seeing that on the scoreboard right now. But plenty of time for the Rebs to get back into this one, but it's going to have to start here pretty quick. Pitch downstairs, and that'll be 2-1. And as I was coming in, I saw a pitch called for a strike I didn't appreciate, but it is what it is. Everybody's got to play under those conditions. 2-1 your count to Martinez now, and that will come right down the middle, but below, and the count will go to 3-1. Swing and a miss, and that will fill the count up. Payoff pitch to come with 2 away. And Frank's going to take a little bit of a break here. And he'll be aboard with a walk. So Rebels have the designated hitter now headed to first after drawing a full count walk. That will bring up Lachlan Ross, who is 1 for 2 in this ball game. He's got a walk, and he's looks like a double on Frank's scorecard here. And so he's been a tough out. He's going to continue to be a tough out as he drops the first offering right into center field. And that will send Martinez to second. Runners at first and second with 2 away. And Darius Gaston coming to the plate. Gaston. Actually sending a pinch hitter up to the plate here. Frank has returned to the press box. Swing and a miss to open the at-bat. It'll be .22. Be 0-1. And Tommy will take a breaking ball high to even the count at 1-1. We're hoping that Thrasher will live up to his surname here and put the ball in play, preferably an extra base hit. Something like that to put the Rebs right back in the thick of things. Swing and a miss as he was thinking extra bases with that swing. And the count will go to 1-2 now with 2 away. And Thrasher at the plate. And that'll be a strikeout. No throw to first needed. And Rebs go down after a walk and a hit. And we head to the bottom of the sixth with the Rebels behind, 6-0.
6-0 so far. And, you know, it's kind of funny because they've gotten guys on base every single inning, just have not been able, well, correction, except for the fifth inning, they just have not been able to get them across.
And, you know, that's one of those things that kind of ailed them in those 3 losses to Hutch was the situational hitting. Not getting the hit when you got somebody out there to score.
Yeah, that happened with guys at second and third base twice against Hutchison. First time we had 1 out. The second time we had 2 outs, and we're not able to get them across. So that coming into play here in this ball game, but hopefully they've got plenty of innings. They can still get back in it as we go down to the bottom half of the 6th inning now. It's kind of strange to have the Newton Rebels, the visiting team, on their own home field.
Well, and it has happened before.
Yeah.
You know, this is summer college ball. That's the way it is. You know, the Seeds didn't have a place to host their game today, so they came to us and asked if we would. And, hey, it's a bonus home date for us, even though we're the visitors on the scoreboard.
Yep. So we are going to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and I'll let you take over if you want.
Well, I'll go for a few minutes.
For a
Your
few-
car's
okay.
supposed to be heading back this way, and
Okay.
and
I didn't know how much time you had here.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of ootin' a boot, and I say I was test riding the bike, thinking about doing a geocache that's close by here, and I got to work on that derailleur on the back side. It's not shifting quite right, and so that can be a real bugaboo if you've ever gotten into one of those.
Okay, the bottom half of the 6th inning, we got a pinch hitter, number 13, Jordan Helm, coming in.
So Helm at the plate, or no? 13 at the plate would be
Jordan Helm.
Jordan Helm. Okay, he's coming in for Cooper Elliott.
Yep.
All right. So his first appearance, swing and a miss, and that's now 1-2 in favor of Jacob Woodburn, who is the Rebel on the mound.
Carson Frazier is the.
Oh, you've got your.
Yes, I have him on.
All right.
So that way I don't have to turn it over.
Flip him around. Okay. We'll get it straight eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So strikeout now for Frazier, and they're 1 away.
Jordan Maxson will be the pinch hitter now. Looks like they're putting in all kinds of guys.
Well, they're thinking they got a 6-run lead, which is a pretty decent lead. But I've seen some pretty wild stuff on this baseball diamond.
Jordan Maxson is a 6-foot, 200-pounder from Wichita, Kansas.
Ball 1, the offering to Maxson. But Reb's going to have to get the bats going in the 7th, or we're going to be in a world of hurt. Pitch downstairs, 2-0. Of course, then just the other day I watched a documentary about Barkman and Alou and what happened to the Cubs back in that Barkman World Series. 4-3 will be the scoring at home for the Rebs as they are able to induce the ground ball, and there's 2 away. And if you recall that World Series, a fan interfered with Moises Alou, or the Chicago Cubs, that coming in, I believe, the 7th inning or 8th inning of Game 6 of the NLCS. And before anybody knew what happened, the Florida Marlins put 8 runs on the board.
Coming up to bat now for Sunflower Seeds is number 35, Derek Doty.
And Doty will step in and take strike 1 right on the outside corner.
Well, I got a story about Mr. Alou. His dad, Manny Mota and Manny Alou.
Yeah.
They all used to play together, and my dad used to play right there with them in the Mexican leagues that they had at one time. And we do want to wish them a happy Father's Day, since
Yes,
it's
sir.
Happy Father's Day to you and everybody else out there.
2-1 here you count now after a pair of misses by Frazier. He's working with 2 away and nobody on. Comes inside and it's too far inside, and the count is 3-1. And by the way, since it is Father's Day, it behooves me to mention that the Rebels are riding a 5-game losing streak on Father's Day.
Uh-oh.
So there you go. Something about this day, gents. 5-3 scoring at home as the Rebs charge and make the play and get out of that inning with a 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll head to the top of the 7th with your Rebs down by half a dozen. We'll take a moment here to thank Roofing Services Unlimited, a major sponsor of Newton Rebels baseball. Also want to thank Dr. Brett Roofs, DDS, a major sponsor of Newton Rebels baseball. Also, big-time sponsors we want to thank. Carl Hodges, also known around here as the founder. And we've got Tim Marler and family, who we would like to thank. Remax Associates of Newton, Kansas. Affordable Autos, Pate Paw, Attorneys at Law. I don't know if they knew that rhymed or if they did it intentionally. Shamrock Car Wash and Sean Penner are major sponsors of Newton Rebel Baseball. Realty Connections and Store and Stuff U-Haul. Pouch Enterprises, who had this broadcast running for about an hour and a half last night before everything went to absolute bloody heck. Boston Insurance and Conradi Insurance Group. Dan Heinze in particular. He joined Conradi within the last year. Also want to thank Duty Works and American Family Insurance Ken Hall Agency. And last but not least, the Miller Insurance Agency of Newton. So those are our big sponsors. And Frank's showing me another list of important people. Connie Miller, Joe Pedlow, Kaufman, Michelle and Brent Kaufman, Aaron Eichelman, Tammy Schmidt, Joni and Chad Considine, and Zach Bravo, who's also a player for us, as well as Eichelman. Those are our host families this year, and we couldn't do baseball without some host families. And consider this, these folks all opened up their houses in the face of COVID-19. Ground ball towards short will be fielded. The throw will be off the bag and towards the dugout, and he will head to second. So Uchi will reach on a hit and head to second on the error. And just like that, they've got one in scoring position here. Ethan White coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game.
Correction, we have a pinch hitter, my bad.
Oh, that's all right. Pinch hitting, number 30.
Let's see if I can find him here. Ricky Hockett.
Ricky
That's a new
Hockett.
player.
Yeah, we saw him last night coming to the plate. Saw him out in the outfield specifically last night showing some hustle.
Yeah, by the way, those Rebels won that game 9-4.
Yes, they did. That was a nice thing. It was an early Father's Day gift for me. So Hockett will take ball 1 high and away, and it's a 1-0 count. That one looked like it might have been a little outside, but they'll give the strike to Woodburn, and the count will go evens. Woodburn will take a look at Uchi back at second base, but he's coming home. Nobody even covering. Wounded duck towards right. That will be caught. Uchi not going anywhere, and there's one away with a runner at second. Caden Moore due up for the Rebs.
He moved over from left field to center field. He's playing center field now.
He is the 9-hole hitter today. He is 1 for 2. He had a second in the third and a ground out in the fourth. Shows bunt, puts it down. They're going to charge hard, and he's going to hustle. The throw's offline. That'll allow the run to score. He's headed to second. Taking the big step. He's going to hoof it for third, and he will be safe at third. They drop the ball.
Well, it's a good thing he dropped the ball because the umpire was ready to call him out.
Yes, he was, which I would have questioned because I don't know that he got the tag, and that was the only way to get him at that point. He should have gone down on that play, but hey, all's well that ends well. A run scores for the Rebels, and they've got a runner at third with the top of the order coming to the plate, Jack Sechrist, who is 0 for 3 today, so he's due. First pitch will be right down Broadway, strike one.
Well, I couldn't get any runs across as the play-by-play announcer. You were able to.
Well, the Rebs have made the Seeds pay for a couple of errors here to start off the inning. And you've got to make teams pay when they make mistakes like that, and that's exactly what the Rebs just did.
We definitely need to get this guy across that third base.
Yes, we do. We need every run we can get, and this one's only 90 feet away. 1-2 your count, as that was a hands-high fastball. Sechrist due for a hit right here, and a hit would score the run. Pitch is well outside and in the dirt, and that will set the count at 2-2. Went reaching for one. That'll go back to the pitcher. 1-3 if you're scoring.
Wow.
And he had a hard time getting that ball.
The ball was almost on the ground. Actually.
Yes, it was. He had a really hard time getting that ball. That thing, I think he actually dropped it, trapped it, and picked it up just in the nick of time to get Sechrist at first. And now it'll be Aaron Eichelman coming to the plate.
That ball.
Wild pitch. He's coming from third, and the run will score. Caden Moore showing aggressiveness on the base paths all the way around. He turned what looked like a sacrifice single into a run.
Exactly right.
Actually, 2 runs, and that's a thing of beauty. 6-2 now your score with the Rebels trailing. Bases are empty now. 2-0 the count for Aaron Eichelman. Let's see if he can get us started on something else.
Eichelman comes into the ballgame batting .250, playing in 2 games.
Chases a low pitch and skies it into left. That'll be caught. And your Rebs score a pair on a couple of hits and an error. Nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of 7. 6-2. Do not ask me to be Harry Carey. I do not sing in public.
Okay.
Maybe you do, but I
Seventh
sure
inning
don't.
stretch. No, I think I'll pass.
So there was only one Harry. Due up will be Dylan Phillips, Cody Burdett, and Dawson Winter.
I think we got a new pitcher here.
Yes, we do have a new pitcher here. Looks like a 24 for your number.
Ryan Nipfer. Nipfer now on the mound, 5'11", 200-pounder from Dakota State. He's a freshman out of Derby, Kansas.
And Derby pretty well known for their football down there.
Yeah. Coach Brandon Clark.
Yes, sir. And this kid's got the build for it, too. So Rebs trail by 4 as we head to the bottom of 7. They have been out hit 6-4. They've also committed 3 errors while being gifted 2 by the Seeds.
Well, we got a ball game tomorrow evening at home against the same team, the Sunflower Seeds. And then we'll be going to Cheney. We'll be facing the same team in Cheney on Tuesday.
At a bare minimum, I will be late to the park tomorrow. That is the season opener for Roofing Services Unlimited's machine pitch team, which just happens to feature my son.
There you go.
So the small fry will be in action tomorrow.
Well, I'll start it off, and whenever you get here, you're more than welcome to take over. Dylan Phillips is the batter here in the bottom half of the seventh.
Phillips 0 for 3 in this ball game with a pair of strikeouts. First offering from Niffer will be high and away, and the count will be 1-0. Pitch stays high and away. He's not finishing his pitch right now. Tomorrow also the first day of Vacation Bible School, which will be all done at home this year. COVID-19 strikes again. Up and away, 3-0. We got to throw strikes when we're behind. Cannot afford to give up free base runners and extra outs. There it is, strike one called. Skies this pitch on the infield, charging hard, and it's going to drop. Nobody called for it.
Looks like the first baseman, Andrews, was looking at home plate.
He was looking at
Hibichi.
Uchi,
Hibiki.
he was looking at Uchi, and Uchi was expecting him to make the play, and nobody took charge. That's something that we talked about at the Coach Pitch League just 2 nights ago. About those little dribblers in no man's land, and take charge and scream it out and tell people you're going for it and go get it. 0-1 the count now. And this one will be down the line right just.
Looks like the umpire
He's
called
calling
foul.
it foul.
Yeah.
Home plate umpire calling it foul.
That was kind of hard to tell because
I thought it struck just inside the line and kept bouncing, but hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, the first base coach was saying fair all the way, but the home plate umpire was right on the line there, so he made the call.
And that's who's supposed to be making that call. 0-2 the count now. Burdette at the plate. Takes ball 1-2 now. Pops him up foul. Uchi gives chase, but it goes over the screens. We'll stay at 1-2.
I don't want to jinx us, but I'm hoping we're still on.
For tomorrow?
No.
Well, I can check. I checked in before I came over, and things were looking pretty good.
Yeah. Don't tell me what we did different because I have no idea. I just set it up and it worked. I got up early this morning and got on this computer and just messed with it and try to get some kinks out of it, and then got on the other computer that we're doing. There goes the runner. That was stolen on the
Throw
pitcher.
to second will not be in time. We saw him gun one down last night, but not quite so lucky today. So a runner's going to move into scoring position. The count will be full, and there'll be none away for Cody Burdette.
So whatever we did today, we're hoping to do tomorrow and throughout the rest of the season.
Did you sacrifice the live chicken today, or what? I mean, what? just,
Well, I'm just going to tell you
or
this.
was it a bucket of KFC?
A bucket of KFC. No, I tell you what it was. Mr. Chad Fry was not in here.
That's got to be it. That's got to be it.
You remember the other night when we unplugged it and you
Yep.
walked out the door and all of a sudden it started working?
Well, you know, my wife tells me I have a magnetic personality, and magnets tend to
Maybe.
screw up computers.
Maybe that's
So
what it
maybe
is.
that's it.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss will send him back to the dugout, and we've got Dawson Winter coming to the plate. He reached on a hit when he was hit by a pitch in the second, turned that into a run. He's got a ground out, a strikeout, and now hopefully a fly out. Caught in center field, so yes, there's the fly out. F8 if you like to score at home. And we now have Caleb Hitt coming to the plate.
And nice job there by Moore out there in center field. Boy, he got that ball in quickly and on one bounce to third base and held the runner at second base.
Yes, he did a very nice job out there. So Hitt was hit by a pitch in the fifth. Otherwise, he's 0 for 2. He had a sacrifice, looks like, in the second, and he struck out in the third. Strike call on Mr. Hitt. And Nipfer has seemingly found a little bit of rhythm and started to settle down and started to get things in the zone a little better. 0-1 your count. Gets him to reach at an outside pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball down the left field line. Well, foul. Will come to rest on the warning track about 325 feet from home plate. Some dark blue skies. We're expecting some storms in Marion County tonight and quite possibly dipping down into Harvey County later this evening. A 1-2 your count as pitch comes inside and just above the elbows. Pitch is upstairs, and once again he's not finishing, not following through quite right, and the ball is hanging up near somebody's eyes. 2-2 the count now with 2 away. Just need a pitch right here, and that was a nice one, just a little too low. And count will be full.
Well, Chad, I just checked Facebook. Looks like, not Facebook, but YouTube. Looks like we still are on and sounding really good.
Yes.
So that's a plus. And we've got 25 people watching, so they found us somehow.
Well, I posted a link to Facebook before I came over.
Well, good.
So
I'm glad you
there
did.
you go. Yeah, I figured I could do something for you while I was not here. And he'll draw the walk after a hanging curveball stayed about the spot on his cap. So that'll bring up the number 9 man, Dalton Tarrant, and he has a double, a walk, and a flyout so far. Wild pitch gets away, skitters away, and runners will advance to second and third.
That's what's kind of been killing us. We had same thing happening. Not sure if it was second inning. Yeah, it was second inning. We had a base on balls and hit batsman, and then 2 wild pitches that scored both runs.
Yep, those will kill you when there's a runner at third every time. Breaking ball stays shoulder high, and the count will go to 2-0. Just missed on the outside corner, and the count goes to 3-0. Must have been just a little on the low side.
It may not hurt him to put him on base here with 2 outs.
Base is juiced now. Walks him on 4 pitches. And that'll go back to the top of the order with Casey Mays. Mays struck out in his last appearance. He struck out twice in this ball game. Reached on an error in the second and had a double in the fourth.
Looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the Newton Rebels.
Yes, sir.
That will be it for Nipfer.
Well, I know who he runs like, but that's not who it is. So we'll have to wait and get a number.
It is Gillick, number 34.
All right.
Zach Gillick coming in. 6'2", redshirt freshman at 205 pounds from Friends University. He's also from Valley Center, Kansas.
So do we call him a Falcon or a Hornet?
He is a Hornet and a Falcon now.
Just-
And now a Rebel.
Yes.
His parents are Jason and Stephanie Gillick out of Valley Center. As a matter of fact, last time I saw Zach was the leading strikeout man, pitcher in the league. He had 12 strikeouts recorded already.
Wouldn't mind one right here.
That was as of not yesterday's ball game, so that could have changed, but I was kind of studying the stats for yesterday's game, and I noticed that he was the leading strikeout man for the league. Well, this is going to be a big inning because the Rebels have kind of got back into it. Being
Yeah,
down
this
6-2, they're going to have to get this out here.
This is big. We'll set the stage for you here for Gillick. He comes in, there's 2 away, and bases loaded. And the top of the order now coming, Casey Mays, who had a double in the 4th. A double here would be a killer for the Rebs.
He's always
Outside corner, strike 1.
He's always recorded 2 strikeouts here in the ball game. So
Yes. Take one of those right now. Ground ball right back up the middle. And that's going to get through for a seeing eye single to score 2.
wow, I thought Gillick had that ball. As it
I
hit
did
right
too.
back
And
at
I
him.
think he did too
Yeah.
by his reaction. I think he really thought he had that ball. And that ball, quite honestly, was put in about the one place that it could get through into center field as a grounder. So 2-run score, and now Jordan Helm coming to the plate. Gillick will miss high. And it's 1-0. Just missed. Uchi tried to frame that one up, but that rarely works. 2-0. Swing and a miss. That's more like it. And the count is 2-1. Pitch is low in the dirt. Nobody going anywhere as it's well fielded, and the count goes to 31. Comes inside, gets the called strike.
Great fastball there by Gillick. Don't have a speed clock, but that was that
Yes.
one really popped the glove.
Fly ball down the right field line, diving try, and it will get past. 2 runs will score, and a runner will coast into second. And the Rebs now down by 8. You said it, this was a key point in the ball game.
Yep, that's for sure. I would have brought Gillick in also at that time because, like I say, he has recorded 12 strikeouts for the season. So,
Well, and you can't fault him for the seeing eye single. I mean,
No.
it's just everything went right for both teams just all at once, and the end result is the Rebs falling behind. Strike called right on the knees.
I think the batter is 23, Jordan Maxson.
Yes, it is. I believe he came in the 6th. Swing and a miss for Maxson. Pitch is low. Count goes to 1-2. Two and two, your count. I love Father's Day, but you know much of my despise baseball on Father's Day?
What is that?
I have literally begged Carv for the last 2-3 years that there not be a game in Newton on Father's Day. It's just, this day is cursed for the Newton Rebels. Full count now for Jordan Maxson. Swing and a miss, and that will end the half inning, but not before the Rebs fall down by 4 more. And they trail by 8 going into the 8th.
And we're going to take a small break. We'll be right back.
So we're back with baseball action. Looks like we've got a reliever in the game for the Seeds, number 23. We'll catch the rest of his info here in just a second. Beautiful day at the ballpark aside from the score on the scoreboard. Reb's been out hit 7-6.
Looks like the new pitcher's number 21, Ethan
21.
Ballman.
All right. So we'll see what young Ethan has in store for the Rebs. Due up is Lincoln Andrews, Joey Martinez, and Lachlan Ross.
Ballman is a 6'2", 275-pounder from Pratt College, and he is from Andale, Kansas.
Andale would be the town that dropped out of the league about 6 weeks before the season began, which led to the creation of the Sunflower Seeds.
Yeah, we had 10 teams in the Sunflower Collegiate League, and then El Dorado decided to drop out
Yep.
the last week or so before the season started.
Strike one called. He's going to give this ball a ride. It's going to bounce to the wall. He's going to hoof for 2. I think he's got his eyes on 3, but he'll stand up at second. Stand up double to open up the 8th for the Rebels. And Joey Martinez coming to the plate. Martinez walked in his last appearance, and he has grounded out and struck out in this ball game. Now would be a beautiful time for hit number 1.
And he did it last night. He hit a 3-run home run last night.
Pitches upstairs and inside, and 1-0 the count. Strike called, fastball on the hands, and the count is 1-1. Downstairs, Inside. 2-1 will be your count. Martinez being picky, as he should be. 2-1 the count now as Bauman will deal. Goes after the outside corner and catches it, and the count will be 2-2. Pitch outside and just a little high. Breaking ball misses the zone. Full count now on Martinez. Ball 4 is issued. So he works the full count and ends up becoming a base runner. Runners at first and second for Lachlan Ross.
Lachlan Ross coming in batting .500 before this ball game started.
First pitch stays shoulder high. It'll be 1-0 with runners at first and second, none away. Strike called on a fastball just below the hands. 1-1 your count. Pitch goes inside and stays a little bit tall. 2-1 your count.
And we'd like to say hi to the parents of Lachlan Ross, Ian and Rhonda. Siblings are Zane, Benjamin, and Ariana. Hello from Lachlan.
Ground ball towards short, double play opportunity. They will not roll it as he is able to get to first. Martinez out at second on the fielder's choice. Andrews cruises into third. And it's runners at the corner for Tommy Thrasher. Pitch in the dirt. Count goes to 1-0. Base hit will score a run. Depending on where it's at, an extra base hit could score a pair. With one away here. Hands high fastball called a strike. Pitch is in the dirt. Nobody goes anywhere. 2-1 your count.
Tommy Thrasher looking for his first base hit of the season as he's been played in 4 ball games, been up the bat 4 times.
Called strike. Two count with one away and runners at the corners. Rung him up. Now there's 2 away runners at the corners. And Hibiki Ushi coming to the plate. Ball will skitter away on a wild pitch, and a run will come home, and runner will head to second. The count should be 1-0 as we prepare for the reset.
Hibiki got a base hit the last time and scored a run.
Yes, he did. Now he's got a chance for an RBI with a runner standing at second base. Rebs down by a touchdown. Shot into the gap of right field, and he's going to dig for two. Will he get there? No. The run scores. He would have needed to evade the tag, and they said he didn't do that, but he still gets the RBI. And the Rebels down 10-4 as we head to the bottom of 8.
And we'll be right back.
Reliever coming into the ball game for the Newton Rebels, and I practiced this 3 times. I hope I get it right. Yujiro David Muto coming in. He's from, well, I'm not even going to try the community college. I'll let Frank do that one.
Yeah.
He is a freshman from Aichi, Japan.
I think it's Shimekita Community College.
Never even heard of it.
Me either.
Where's it at?
But it's
Where's it at,
Yukihiro.
Carv?
Let's get the map out.
So there you go. But that's our reliever here, and he is due to face Derek Doty, who is 0 for 3 with a walk in this ball game. He has grounded out the third twice.
Hey, by the way, happy Father's Day.
Thanks, Carv. Pop foul down the third base side, and it will be caught in foul territory. Rebs get 1 pitch and 1 out. I like those kind of options.
Fastball by Yukihiro Muto, and one pitch, 1 out.
Now coming in is Dylan Phillips, singled in his last at bat. He's 1 for 4 overall. Ground ball right towards first. It'll be 3 unassisted. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, that's the way to do it. That'll keep that ERA down.
That's effective. So, all right. And Cody Burdett now coming to the plate. He is 1 for 3. He's walked, he's been hit, and he's struck out. Takes ball 1 as in a shoulder high fastball.
I don't know if you noticed, though, Muto's kind of got a little of a pause before he throws.
2-0.
Doesn't have much of a leg kick.
Now they just teach pitching a little differently in Japan. 2-0. Swing and a miss. They say he got a piece of it. Doesn't matter. It ended up in the glove. And 2-1 now your count. Foul ball down the first baseline, well out of play. That one headed kind of towards the disc golf course. Yep, they're showing rain a little later for this evening.
You might want to get home on that bike.
I might. Line shot will head to center field. He's going to try for 2. They hit the cutoff man, and he decides to head back to first. Yes, in the radar, it's kicking up around McPherson right now. So, and just in case people with any type of interest in McPherson, Kansas are tuning in and listening in, the Pipeliners are not playing this season. That decision had been made all the way back in December when some folks retired from their organization, and then COVID-19 wiped out the league they were going to play in. So I would have loved to see him come play in the Sunflower League. That was a pretty decent organization right there, and a nice little short road trip for us. So 0-1 the count now on Dawson Winter.
I think it is.
Fly ball to center. He's charging hard, and he will not make the catch. That should be the 4th error charged to the Rebels in this ball game. And it's a 2-baser. Rebs now have 2 away and runners at second and third to deal with.
That's too bad because Moore was right there.
Yeah, he was right on that ball, but
Yep. Not able to make the catch, though.
if you touch it, you catch it. That's the rule, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the deal. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count now on Caleb Hitt. He walked and later scored in the 7th. Fly ball towards right. Got a bad jump on it, but he will get underneath it, make the catch. So for once, they don't pay the price of an error, and they get out of that half inning with nobody coming across. We're at 10-4 as we head to the top of the 9th. And here's the brass tacks of the matter. The Rebs have to score 6 or we're going home.
We'll be right back. Looks like we're going to have a new pitcher.
Yep, bringing one on to pitch the 9th.
For the Sunflower Seeds. We'll see who it is. I think it's number 18.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right with an 18. But I want a better look at it.
Yep, it
Yep.
is.
18 on the hill right now.
That's Ethan Bowie, I believe. B-double-O-E. Unless somebody misspelled that.
Wonder if he's related to David. Sorry, I just, some things you can't control, and bad sense of humor from me is one of them.
So Ethan Bowie now on the pitch. 6 foot, 180 pounder from Fort Hays State University. His hometown's Wichita, Kansas.
Ah, a Tiger. I was thinking about heading up to Hayes this week, checking out the Sternberg Museum and a few other things up in that area, as I've got days that I'm not allowed to work. So here we go into the top of the ninth. Ricky Hockett to lead things off. It's a pitcher and center fielder for the Falcons down Friends University this year. First pitch will go back to the screen. That's ball one. 1-0 the count to Ricky Hockett. Pitch inside will be strike one. Strike two on the inside corner. Popped foul down the third base side. This should fall to the turf and does. And count goes to 1-2. Two and two the count after that fastball stays chin high, and Hockett looking for his first hit of the ball game, battling a little bit here, and he'll be hit by the pitch. Just looks like on the lower leg, and Rebs have one aboard. Caden Moore coming to the plate. He had that hustle bunt that he turned into a run in the sixth. Made use of a bad throw to get himself moving around the base paths. Came home on a wild pitch. And I'd like to see some more of that action. Strike called on the thigh. And third base right now playing fairly aggressively. That bunt fresh in his mind. Pitch tails away from him and into the dirt, and the count goes to 1-1. Pitch well upstairs, throw to first, snap throw. Will not be in time. Hockett back to first. And counts 2-1. Little looper down the line, should go foul, does go foul, and will fall. Sets the count at 2-2. Called third strike.
Pulled the string on that one.
Yes, he did. Caden unhappy with it, but there's really not much you can do except walk back to the dugout. Jack Sechrist, who is now 0 for 4 coming to the plate. He's got a runner at first and one away. First pitch, a called strike. Inside out's a foul ball down the first base line, out of play, and the count goes to 0-2.
You guys were looking at that radar just a little bit ago, and it's probably a good choice that they made by playing this game early.
Yes,
looks like
it
we're going
is.
to get hit soon.
Yeah, the rain's supposed to be showing up somewhere around 7 or 8 o'clock, which would be right about game time if we hadn't to move that game time up. Fly ball down the right field line, and it will go foul. Count stays at 0-2. Oh, 2 count now to Sechrist. Fly ball into shallow right. Will be caught in an over-the-shoulder grab. And the count, that is now 2 out for the Rebs, with Eshelman coming to the plate. Flew out in his last at bat. Pops him foul, back behind the screen. And the count goes to 0-1. Called strike on the outside half. Oh, 2 count. Fly ball towards center. And that'll end the ball game. The Rebs fall 10-4. And how big are those extra outs they gave?
It's pretty big, especially when, and not only that, but when you don't score when there's runners in a scoring position. We did that a couple times today, and that ended up costing the Rebels. But the Sunflower Seeds get the first victory of the season here today on a 10-4 win over the Rebels.
Well, technically it was a road game, so now we're, 0-2 on the road.
That's correct.
So that's the deal there. Rebs will be back in action again tomorrow night. Who we got tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got the same team. We got the Sunflower Seeds. The way this is scheduled for the whole season, you play one team 4 games in a row, 2 at home and 2 away. So tomorrow will be a home game for the Newton Rebels as they take on the Sunflower Seeds. Game time is scheduled for 7 o'clock. And you said you'll be running just a little bit late.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I got
We'll get it
season
started
opener.
for you.
And then after that, would that be Tuesday, correct? They'd be at X Stadium, would they not?
Tuesday, I'm not sure. We'll have to check and see. I think they're at in Cheney once
In
again.
Cheney?
Yeah,
Oh, that's where these guys usually play, right?
yeah, that's where they
Okay.
normally play. So
It gets confusing because we've got a Wichita team that's playing in Rose Hill this year. So, you never know where these games are going to pop up.
Yeah.
So, well, it's been real and it's been fun, Frank. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, well, once again, we want to wish Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you enjoyed the telecast. On behalf of Chad Fry and everybody here and on the board here at for the Newton Rebels, this is Frank Martinez. Wish you a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock as the Newton Rebels will be facing the Sunflower Seed. See you tomorrow. Good night.